Hey, guys. Welcome to the first ever Golden Goal Show. I'm your host, Al, the other half of Vince and Al podcast. And let me just say, I am so excited to get things rolling. Vince is also sharing the same feelings. We're just so excited to get season 2 of this whole channel up and uploaded to you guys. If you see, the last time we uploaded was late October. Here we are, early December, getting content out to you guys. And if you're part of our family already, you're already a subscriber, you might be asking, what is this Golden Goal Show? Even if you aren't part of this family, you're a subscriber, what is this all about? If you check the title down below, the two topics are about sports. And yes, this show is solely about sports. I might incorporate some things about real life, and maybe I can get some lessons from sports and apply it to our life. But typically, this show is going to be dominated by sports. And if in our podcast, if you have ever listened, if you haven't, I highly suggest that you do. Maybe go check out our channel, scroll through our channel, maybe see some titles that pop up to you, and listen to us. That's what a podcast channel is about. It's just take some time to relax and listen to us and share ideas, share our beliefs, share our opinions. Whether you're in your car, whether you're doing homework, whether you're working, so be it. But if you have listened, if you're part of our family already, you're familiar with Vince and I. If we ever get to a topic about sports, typically I would dominate the conversation, and Vince and I found that was fine. But if we were to talk about basically anything else, Vince would typically dominate the conversation. And what's more, that's totally fine. We each bring something to the table, and we each make this channel. We're just the other half of this channel, if that makes sense. This channel wouldn't be Vince and Al channel without Vince, and this channel would not be Vince and Al podcast channel without me. What is this channel? What is the Golden Goal Show? Once more, like I said, this is about sports. What am I going to be covering? I'm going to be talking about the major leagues in the U.S., such as the NBA, such as the NFL, such as the MLB, that I've already said that already, and the NHL. I'm sorry, not the NHL. I just found that if I'm not passionate, if I'm not really knowledgeable about that particular sport, then I just don't believe that I should be sharing my knowledge. I just don't think it would be interesting, and it wouldn't be fair to you guys as my audience to be publishing and uploading something that I'm not knowledgeable about. To know a little couple more things about me, I'm a huge soccer fan, or soccer player. I'm getting better in terms of knowing about soccer. So I will be covering some of the European soccer leagues, such as the Premier League in England and La Liga in Spain. I will talk about them a little bit. I am a huge Cleveland fan. I'm a huge Cavaliers fan. I'm a huge Indians fan. I'm a huge Browns fan. So I will be a little biased at times, but I really hope that I come off as unbiased as possible for you guys. Just to be a fan of, for example, the NBA, a fan of the NFL, and give the most knowledge out to you guys and analyze it. I've played rec basketball, I've played rec football, but I really don't know many of the X and O's. And I think that's fine. I'll save all of those X and O's to the analysts. Let me just talk about the sport. Let me talk about, I'm familiar with the players, I'm familiar with the teams, I'm familiar with how the leagues function. So if there's a major trade, there's a major anything, I can typically be able to relate with that and share to my best of my ability to you guys as my audience. I'm not sure if I said this before, but if you guys are listening to this and you like what this show is all about, obviously you haven't heard me talk about sports yet. You like what this podcast channel is all about. If you've listened to some prior podcasts already, it would mean the world to me, and I know it would mean the world to Vince if you just hit that subscribe button, take some time out of your day, and listen to us, and like this video, and comment down below some of your opinions about anything that I talk about. If you're excited about this show, some of your feedback, anything. We just love to interact with you guys as our audience. So, and that rule of interacting with the podcast applies to this show as well. So how will I be talking about the NBA? I'm sorry, guys. Before I get into how I'm talking about the NBA, you as our audience might still be confused what this is all about. I'm going to save all the logistics, all the reasoning, to our podcast that will be uploaded on Thursday, just 2 days from now. Go tune into that. Do whatever it takes to tune into that, if that means subscribing, post notifications, etc., etc. And then Vince will be coming out with his show on Saturday, so I'd highly suggest you go and tune in on Saturday as well, because Vince always knows how to have a banger show. I know his show will be so awesome as well. Regarding the NBA, regarding how this show will rule, how it will function, guys. If you remember, you recall some of your favorite shows, some of your favorite movies, it starts out slow, right? It starts out kind of rough because they're trying to introduce you to the content, to the material, so that now that you understand what it's all about, we can get things flying, we can get things rolling, and it'll be a great time. If that makes sense. Some of the greatest shows, their season 1 even might not even be that good, but as they progress, they learn. And they pull some of the good things that they did, and they pull some of the bad things that they did as well. Let me start, for example, with the NBA, and this will typically apply to any league that is in season. For example, if the MLB, right now, the MLB is not in season, so I will not be dedicating as much time as I would be right now to the NBA, to the NFL, to college football. And that's solely because they're not in season. But if there's a major trade, there's free agency, something happens, I will talk about it. Yes, if something big happens in the NHL, I will talk about it. I know the NHL is looking to expand. They are expanded to the Las Vegas Knights. I will cover that. I definitely will. But let me just give you the format. And this is a perfect example of the NBA. They're in season right now. What I typically will be doing is I will be looking at the power rankings, the top 10 power rankings, which is usually made by Mark Stein, an ESPN analyst. Thank you, Mark. We look at his top 10 power rankings, and I will also look at maybe the bottom 2, maybe to compare and contrast what the top teams are doing right and what the bottom teams are doing wrong. Then I will do some news about the league, some of the sports or whatever is regarding in that league. And then I will typically be doing a marquee matchup. But in terms of time, trying to keep things settled, I did a lot of intro. I'm not going to be doing marquee matchups, top 3 marquee matchups this week in any of the leagues, because I have a lot to throw in it with sports as well. So it's intro on top of sports. I got to concise it a little bit, but expect marquee matchups next week in episode number 2 of the Golden Goal Show. So after that, after the marquee matchups, I'll give my prediction, and we'll see if I'm right. We'll see if I'm wrong. You guys maybe make your predictions down below in the comment section as well. So that same will then apply in the NFL. When the MLB is in season, it will apply to the MLB. Right now, college football is in bowl season, so that doesn't apply to football anymore. Maybe I'll follow and apply some college football. But guys, this is sports is seasonal, and this channel is also seasonal. This channel is all about sports. Not just, this is not an NBA channel. This is not an NHL channel. This is not a Premier League channel. You know what I'm saying? This is a sports channel where there's a lot about everything. So if you like that, awesome. If you just want to hear about your specific sport, your specific league, I will be listing the times down below in the comment section, which takes a little bit more out of my time, but it makes you guys' experience as the audience that much better. So let's get into it. Let's get into how it's going to work. We're still learning, we're still progressing, but let's get into how it works. So let me just write something down real quick. All right. Let's look right here at the NBA power rankings. I'm going to read you the power rankings real quick first, and then I'll give you some of my input as to how everything works out. And number 1, we have the Houston Rockets. Number 2, we have the Boston Celtics. Number 3, we have the Golden State Warriors. Number 4, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Number 5, the San Antonio Spurs. Number 6, the Toronto Raptors. Number 7, the Detroit Pistons. Number 8, the Philadelphia 76ers. Number 9, the Minnesota Timberwolves. And this number 10 actually surprises me. Number 10, we have the Denver Nuggets. The last 2 spots are the Atlanta Hawks, sitting at a sad 5-17. And the 30th, the Chicago Bulls, who are in complete rebuild mode with a record of 3 wins, 18 losses. So obviously there's a difference between the 20-4 Boston Celtics and the 3-18 Chicago Bulls. Houston Rockets, last week's power rankings, if we looked, they were actually number 2. They're now number 1 because Chris Paul is back. He is healthy. The Chris Paul, James Harden scenario, the test, perhaps if we were to call it a test, is working out right now. They're playing at a they're playing very great basketball, and I think Mike D'Antoni, their head coach, is a perfect fit because it's just such a fast-paced, high-scoring offense that just wears out defenses. You have three-point shooters all around, and you have Eric Gordon, who's another Sixth Man of the Year candidate. This Houston Rockets team is looking like a very good Houston Rockets team. Number 2, the Boston Celtics. They should be number 1, but the Houston Rockets just had a flawless November. They're looking to continue to keep that up. Celtics went on a 16-game winning streak. That's so crazy. Their record is now 20 wins, 4 losses. Kyrie Irving is playing at the MVP level. If it's not LeBron who wins the MVP, I hope the next guy up is Kyrie Irving. Even a Cavaliers fan, I'm rooting for you, Kyrie. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, the two youngsters, bright future for the Boston Celtics. Once LeBron starts to diminish, although I don't know if he's ever going to diminish. He's 32 and he's putting up better numbers every single year. He's like, what is he like? He's like fine wine. That's what I'm going to call it. He's like definitely like fine wine. He gets better and better with age. But here we go. We look at number 3 spot, the Golden State Warriors. We're not going to talk about them. I don't like them. Boo. Sometimes I'll talk about them, but cool. Number 4, Cleveland Cavaliers, who I'm going to talk about this because they're on a 12-game winning streak right now. They're hot right now. Maybe they can even top the Boston 16-game winning streak. We'll see. I don't really care about a winning streak. I just want good basketball out of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Their previous spot was number 5, but at the beginning of the year, they were all the way up or all the way down to the 16th spot. So they've made huge changes. And guys, Isaiah Thomas isn't even back, and there's some trade rumors. Blockbuster, DeAndre Jordan for Tristan Thompson, Jahlil Okafor possibly. I'd like to see that happen. Cleveland always makes a trade before the deadline. Number 5, the San Antonio Spurs. Number 6, let me just read you. These next 3 teams are all Eastern Conference teams. Toronto Raptors, Detroit Pistons, Philadelphia 76ers. Minnesota Timberwolves, I personally believe, are having an underwhelming season at 14-10. They're not playing the basketball that Tom Thibodeau loves to play in terms of at the defensive end. We'll see what happens. We'll see. We'll see. And number 10, the Denver Nuggets. I like that they're at number 10 because they are what people say are following the blueprint that the Golden State Warriors planned out, and that is drafting, finding guys. Jokic was a lower draft pick, and look at him. He's playing some very great basketball. He's a very good player, future All-Star. A lot of future All-Stars on this Denver Nuggets team. Continue to build them up. Maybe they'll become a Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. And then maybe you get a big star such as a Kevin Durant onto your team. Denver Nuggets in a couple years. I would like to see a Denver Nuggets Philadelphia 76ers clash. Who knows? We'll see what happens. We look over here. This is regarding LiAngelo Ball. The Balls are once more in the news. This is a tweet I'm going to read to you by Adrian Wojnarowski, whatever you say his name, ESPN Insider. He says, ex-UCLA freshman LiAngelo Ball has no chance that he'll be drafted in June, and that was true even before his shoplifting incident in China. This is a quote. He's not on any of our scouting lists, even on our extended list, as one GM told ESPN. Harsh words to LiAngelo Ball. I think a lot of people are fed up with this Ball family. Lonzo Ball's not even living up to the hype. We can talk about him in later shows. LeVar Ball pulls his son out of UCLA, maybe puts him in the European League. He says that his way will get his son a better opportunity to play in the NBA rather than playing at UCLA. So we'll see what happens. We're going to look at the NFL Power Rankings. I will talk about them more in next week's show, but let me just tell you the Power Rankings for right now. We have number 1, New England Patriots. Number 2, the Philadelphia Eagles. Number 3, the Minnesota Vikings. Number 4, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Number 5, the New Orleans Saints. Number 6, the Los Angeles Rams. 7, Jacksonville Jaguars. 8, Atlanta Falcons. And 9, Seattle Seahawks. And number 10, the Carolina Panthers. Right behind them, the Tennessee Titans, also with an 8-4 record. In the bottom, New York Giants. We're going to talk about them real soon with 2-10 record. And number 32, as always, the Cleveland Browns. The Giants, the 49ers at 29. At one point, they were at 32. They made a jump. The Browns are 0-12, by the way, if you haven't guessed that one already. The Philadelphia Eagles have taken the league by storm behind MVP caliber quarterback Carson Wentz. I'm rooting for you, Carson. And the Los Angeles Rams have one of the best offenses, led once more behind another MVP candidate in Jared Goff. Two quarterbacks in which the Cleveland Browns could have drafted last season. Who do we take instead? Corey Coleman. Leave it at that. All right. Any news regarding the NFL? Yes, some small news. Josh Gordon makes his return. He had 4 receptions for 85 yards. Rob Gronkowski gets suspended after a late hit to a Buffalo player. Check out that video if you want to. Rob Gronkowski, you are on my fantasy team. You put up major numbers, but I need you this week, bro. When you find yourself suspended, let me just show you a little bit. Ben McAdoo is what I want to talk about. Former Giants head coach. This is a quick interview with John Mara, the Giants president and CEO. He fires not only Ben McAdoo as the head coach, but GM Jerry Reese. So let me just show you what he says. And this is just a real quick one. Okay. John Mara, what do you have to say over this?
The team that we expect to be. And we also agreed that it was pointless to wait any longer to make these changes.
You heard him right. He couldn't wait any longer to make those changes. I totally agree with you. I think it was actually a little late to make those changes. Ben McAdoo, man, with your awful haircut, see ya, bro. I'm not even a Giants fan. I don't even know how much he coached, his coaching tactics, whatever. I didn't like you, bro. You sat down Eli Manning. You're crazy, bro. Just let him finish out the season. See ya, Ben McAdoo. As far as GM Jerry Reese, I thought he drafted some good players throughout his tenure, whatever. But looks like the Giants are heading in the right direction. Maybe the next GM can find a predecessor for Eli Manning. And the Giants set themselves up in high draft capital. See if they can get themselves their future quarterback. The Browns are also looking for their future quarterback. I think that's a headline about for the past, let's say, 30 years. All right. As far as the Premier League, let me just read you the top 5. In that, number 1, Man City. Number 2, Man United. Number 3, Chelsea. Number 4, Liverpool. Number 5, Arsenal. Man City leading the pack with 43 points. They are on a 12 or 13 game winning streak. They're just tearing it up. But Man United right behind them, only 8 points back with 35. So these two guys are going to be clashing against one another this coming Saturday. It should be a great game. As far as the La Liga standings, Barcelona leads the pack with 36 points. Valencia 31, Atletico Madrid 30, Real Madrid 28, Sevilla 28 as well. Real Madrid blew the chances. Barcelona drops 2 weeks in a row dropping points. Only with ties, Real Madrid, what do? They don't get any points at all. Either don't help themselves in terms of the race. They can maybe get number 1 spot, but they don't look as dominant as last season. Let me get into what we talked about, guys. What we have talked about 18 minutes, 52 seconds into this. Let's talk about college football playoffs. Number 1, Clemson 12-1 record. Number 2, Oklahoma 12-1 record. Number 3, Georgia 12-1 record. Number 4, boo, Alabama Crimson Tide. Bleh, 11-1 record. 26 days till the college football playoffs will be underway. Clemson, Alabama playing in the Rose Bowl. Georgia, Oklahoma playing in the All-State Sugar Bowl. All-State, are you in good hands? I'm so cringy. Let me just say something. Clemson, ACC champions. Oklahoma, Big 12 champions. Georgia, SEC champions. Alabama, yep. Ohio State, number 5, Big 10 champions after defeating the undefeated Wisconsin, and arguably the best defense in college football. They go on to beat them 27-21. They felt like they had the best resume. They felt like they had a better resume than Alabama, I personally believe as well. Ohio State has had 3 wins over top 16 teams, 2 wins over top 4 teams. those being Penn State and Wisconsin. They do have 2 losses, one of them being to currently number 2 Oklahoma, which if that were their only loss would be accepted by the committee, but their other loss came to, at that point, unranked Iowa, 31-point loss, embarrassing. But I personally believe that Iowa is a very, very underrated team. Regardless of that, Ohio State was a 2-loss team, and that loss to Iowa was detrimental to getting them into that number 4 spot. As far as Alabama, they lost to one team, and that being a 3-loss team. Auburn, even as good as Auburn was, they had lost 3 games. They did not win the SEC championship. And here's Alabama, 2 SEC teams. So a lot of people said, well, we should have a winner of each conference be represented in the college football playoffs. The committee says no. We want the 4 best teams, regardless if they are champions or not. We want the 4 best teams. And at the time, they believed that Alabama was the better team than Ohio State. Maybe that's true. Maybe that's not. But Ohio State, number 5 Ohio State will be playing number 8 USC in, I believe, the Cotton Bowl. So should be a good game. As a Browns fan, I'll be watching Sam Darnold, a possible another option for the Cleveland Browns. We will see what happens. But I do want to show you, and let's hear what LeBron James had to say about the Cleveland Cavaliers, Ohio State Buckeyes not making it into the playoffs.
I'll never get too high, never get too low. And
here in the background.
Go, Dobbins! Go! Ah! Thanks, Sheree.
Oh, that's so funny. That is actually an interview that ESPN had with Dwayne Wade after the Cavaliers' victory over the Memphis Grizzlies. Cavaliers once more on a 12-game winning streak. But regardless of that, LeBron James was listening and watching Ohio State play Wisconsin in the Big Ten Championship, where J.K. Dobbins, the Ohio State true freshman running back, made a big play running down the sideline and almost getting a touchdown for the Buckeyes. So that was what LeBron James was excited about. But you do hear him at the end saying, that's how us Ohio State fans feel after the committee selected Alabama over Ohio State. But so be it. That is life. Should be still a great game. Ohio State versus USC. We'll see what happens. My prediction, Ohio State winning it and proving that they should have been in the playoffs, and Clemson blowing out Alabama. Okay, maybe not that, but Clemson getting the dub. And I think I want Oklahoma to win it all. Now, I want Baker Mayfield to win that Heisman. Guys, that was it. That was it for my first ever Golden Goal show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Next week, stay tuned for some more news regarding the NBA, the NFL. Not really much college football. I already talked about the playoffs. I will be talking more about the World Cup and maybe even more of the Premier League and La Liga. Once more, thank you guys so much for tuning in. So excited to get this show under wrap and up to you guys, ready to go. It is pretty late, but I had to stay up and get this up for you guys. So if you guys enjoyed this, you made it through, let me know down below in the comment section. Give this video a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you aren't subscribed already. And as always, guys, just thank you so much. You guys mean the world to us. Listen more of me. I will be up this Thursday at the podcast, and then Saturday Vince will be up. But that, Al is out.